Good morning, and welcome to the DFS Army YouTube channel. I'm Razzle11, and you can find me on X at Razzle11Grinds. Going to be taking a look at some pitching for today, the 13th of October. It is Monday. We have two games on the LCS side of things. Game 2 in the ALCS and Game 1 in the NLCS. I will be looking at DraftKings, as that is where a majority of my action is. Most guys are going to be able to play in FanDuel anyways. Postseason pitching, a little more unique, etc. If you can nail a guy that gets a quality start, like you're so far ahead of the field. You and everybody else that played that pitcher, since there's only 4 of them roughly to choose from. It's a very interesting setup. Starting at 4 Central Time today on Monday, we have all sorts of stuff. We have daytime hockey. Built some lineups for that already. Get NFL tonight, playoff baseball. There's just a lot going on. When it comes to pitching tonight, obviously there are 3 spots that are pretty set in stone, and Milwaukee being the 4th one. So I want to start on the Milwaukee side because I don't really think that they're going to go with Quintana. I have not seen any reports that it's going to be him. Here's the thing, right? He hasn't started a game since mid-September, basically a month. 3 innings in relief in the 1 game that he pitched in the Cubs series. Now, if they thought he was set to go as a starting pitcher, I believe they would have started him in one of those games because he is left-handed. Would have made a ton of sense against the top part of that Milwaukee lineup, or would have forced the Cubs lineup, or would have forced the Cubs to not start Michael Busch, which is a win in itself. So they used him as a reliever after, and I guess that, to me, doesn't sit like they trust him to be a starter. Now, it could make sense because, obviously, the Dodgers do have, Shohei at the top and Freddie Freeman in the 3 or 4 hole, depending on how they want to lay out the lineup. But the bottom part of the lineup is where, they have Muncy. Really, that's about it, right? They aren't very left-hand heavy at this point, not having Conforto in the lineup. I'm not sure if Conforto made this roster or not. They're actually fairly right-hand heavy. So because of that, and the fact that it is a 7-game series now, I'm curious to see if they add Tobias Myers to the roster, what they're going to continue to do with Mizorowski. He's not in play tonight, right? Obviously just 2 days ago throwing 54 pitches, but his last 3 appearances have all been in the mid-50s for pitch count, 2 to 4 innings. They probably go with an opener with him, an Ashby type again, and go with Mizorowski when it's his turn, and hope to get 4 innings out of him. They really only have Peralta, right? Or that's what we think. Quinn Priester is the guy that I believe starts tonight. Yes, he had a rough start in the Cubs series. It is what it is. He's been the team's second-best starter, or at least of the healthy guys, the second-best starter all season long. He has shown ability that people thought he had as a prospect, and then they thought that it disappeared. Like me, I was wrong about him early. They just don't yank him from being the number 2 starter just because he had one rough postseason start on the road. He absolutely dominated the Dodgers during the regular season. 10 strikeouts and 6 innings of work. He has been worse at home, I guess, technically, but he's still 7-2 at home. Without Woodruff, you need a number 2 starter in a 7-game series. You're not going to survive relying on your bullpen for 6 innings every single game aside from the ones that Peralta starts. It's just not going to happen. If you somehow advance doing that, like, your World Series arms are just drained. You need starting pitcher to eat innings. So I think Priester is the guy that they go back to. Could it be Quintana? Sure. I mean, I haven't really figured out what they do with their pitching at this point anyways. Certainly could be Quintana, but he just allows way too much contact. And I just don't really want a pitcher like that against a team as dangerous as the Dodgers, especially in Game 1 at home. You know, allowing them to get their feet underneath them and put the ball in play a ton while being on the road gives them a chance to kind of steal some of the thunder in the series. Similar to, you know, Seattle last night in Game 1. Gausman was pretty good, kind of hit a bit of a wall, and then Seattle's bats made a couple big swings and took the energy back. So I think it's Quinn Priester. Chad Patrick has been way too valuable to them. 4 games out of the bullpen against the Cubs, absolutely dominant. They're just not suddenly going to stretch him back out or try to piggyback him with, like, a Quintana, you know, to combine to throw 100, 115 pitches or whatever. I think that he's shown just too much value to be used as a 1 to 2 inning guy out of the bullpen where he can throw in, you know, 5 of the 7 games in this series. So really, you know, that pigeonholes us right down to Quinn Priester or Quintana. I like Priester. A little bit of a reverse splits guy, which isn't the ideal thing with this version of the Dodgers lineup, but still, you know, he really should like that in that he can combat Ohtani a little bit. I mean, Ohtani's just tough to get out for anybody. Maybe Freddie Freeman a little bit. Max Muncy and his power. Would be Tommy Edman, since he's a switch hitter. Which, Edman, you prefer to have him bat from the left side anyways. So, I just think that Quinn Priester fits the scenario a little bit better. Priester's actually, his reverse splits are the power department. His batting average against is better for left-handed bats. The strikeout numbers go up against right-handed bats, but he gives up more home runs. So, more extra base hits, etc. So, I don't know. Quinn Priester is the guy that, in my head, I'm kind of building off of until we get word on who that might be. I was hoping to get, you know, a notification while I was recording this about who has been announced as the starter, but we have yet to see that. So, kind of starting with that last game first. I do think it's Quinn Priester, so I'm going to build that way. I think he gives Milwaukee the best chance to win Game 1, so that's where I'm going. On the other side, you get Blake Snell. Super volatile, but he's super dominant, right? 30-plus fantasy points in 4 out of his last 5 starts. Bunch of strikeouts, 9-plus strikeouts in 4 of those last 5. Brewers are a pesky team. I get it. He hasn't been as good on the road. I definitely get it there. Well, his walk rate drops, though, when he's on the road, which is always nice to see. He's not allowing home runs. 2-0 in this postseason, just been absolutely dominant. The highest ceiling, right, on this day. Snell has got to be the guy that we're the highest on, but you do have to get some Milwaukee bat exposure, for sure. The other game, Trey Savage and Logan Gilbert. I almost combined them into one name. So Logan Gilbert, here's the quandary, right? Did just pitch 3 days ago in relief in that long game. Now that was a bullpen side session day anyways in his normal progression. But those 34 pitches in 2+ innings compounded with the energy and, you know, the adrenaline, they're going to take a little bit more toll on him. His outs prop on today is actually decent. I thought it's a little higher than I would have thought. Sitting at 14.5, but juices really strongly on the over. So sportsbooks kind of believe he's going to go 5 innings. with a chance to get roughed up or have pitch count rack up. There are times where he's between 79 and 95 pitches. Like, it's not like he's really going to go 100. He went 100 once this season. The main goal probably is just 5 innings at this point. That Mariners bullpen is pretty strong. They might be a little tired yet, so that is a worry. If they could find a way to get Gilbert through 6 innings, I think they would absolutely be in love with that. But the goal, 5 innings. The issue here, obviously, we know that Toronto doesn't strike out a whole lot. He did face Toronto once this season and did strike out a whole lot of them. But he allowed a ton of base runners as well, didn't complete 5 innings. His road numbers are a lot worse than his home numbers. Home runs allowed rate jumps up, walk rate jumps, strikeout rate plummets. So, not ideal in that scenario. He is a bit of a reverse splits guy. Right-hander bats have a OPS about 83 points higher against them. More home runs, more power in general. Strikeout rate's a little higher to right-handed bats, but still, the Blue Jays have some dangerous right-handed bats, especially Springer and Vlad near the top. If they would have had Bichette, it'd be a really rough spot, I believe, for Logan Gilbert. I will utilize him just because a 5-inning performance out of him, while his K-prop sits at 4.5 juices on the over. 5-inning, 5 strikeouts performance probably gets him in the SP2 conversation, or on a really rough night ends up being the SP1. On the other side, Trey Savage, the darling from the Yankee series, 11 strikeouts and 5 1/3, just 78 pitches to get there, 11 strikeouts. His last regular season start saw him get into the 90s for pitch count at 94. I think he's probably a 6-inning max guy. Probably 80 to 85 pitches is most likely. His K-prop sitting at 5.5 juices on the over, so he's got the second best K-prop on the slate. His outs prop is just 13.5 juices on the over, but that basically thinks that he's going to pitch into the 5th. So there is a shot to complete 5 innings. Like I get, it's even an out below Logan Gilbert, but being juiced to the over, we should aim for about 5 innings. So his K-prop and K upside in this matchup might be a little stronger than Logan Gilbert's. I think Gilbert's a better K pitcher at the major league level right now, but Savage gets a plus K matchup. Need to dig into what Seattle does against splitters, since Savage absolutely dominated the Yankees with a splitter. Gausman is a good comparison because Gausman relies on a splitter a ton. He didn't rack up a ton of strikeouts, but he was pretty good against them last night. So Savage is going to end up being my second favorite pitcher behind Blake Snell, just slightly ahead of Logan Gilbert. Whoever the Brewers go with is going to be a distant 4th, just because I'm just not sure how quickly they're going to go to the bullpen. The leash, it shouldn't be as short. It is a 7-game series. I get wanting to win game 1, but pitching, or managing game 1 like it's game 7 only backfires over the long run. So, if you want to talk about bats, you just kind of reverse that, right? Like, the Dodgers probably in a pretty good spot against whoever the Brewers roll out there. Seattle, ton of power. And it is against a rookie starter, so maybe they show up and he struggles. Logan Gilbert reverse splits, plays right into Springer and Vladdy's hands. And then Blake Snell can get blown up because he can walk guys. He's not really giving up the home runs, but the walks are a big thing. Lead to bigger innings. And the Brewers are a team that can definitely take advantage and attack that. Blue Jays lineup just dropped, and Lucas is in it after leaving last night injured. Another net bat I forgot about is Alejandro Kirk. Great spot for him against Logan Gilbert. So there we have it. There's our first look at the pitching and everything. If you enjoy what I bring to you, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, turn the notification bell on. Get the alert anytime we drop videos here at DFS Army. If you want to join us, get access to our coaches, tools, sheets, Discord, etc. I will drop links in the description below. You can use promo code RAZ, that's R-A-Z, for 10% off monthly. And I will drop a link to the merch store. Check it out. Check out my design and everything. As always, best of luck, everybody.